Serious question. Are there times where you have to meet guys who come in and then get to learn them as teammates and get to be comfortable with them on the field? I mean, guys have been in and out so much. Is it sometimes hard to keep track of all that?
I would say it is a factor where it's important to meet the new people, especially like the numbers we've had lately, like an influx of guys coming in. But I feel like at this level, everyone's a professional. You expect a certain level of like professionalism from everybody. So when you come in, yeah, there's a good amount of talking about scheme and stuff like that, or what we're doing during the week. But you definitely trust guys early on, more at this level than before because, like I said, everyone's a professional and we're all here to do one job.
How about just names and faces and, you get introduced to somebody and then, 3 days later you're lining up with them.
Yeah, that's the unique part about the league. People come in on that a few days before a game and are expected to perform, but it definitely is important, especially during the meetings. Just getting to know people and how what best way they communicate and how we can be successful in the field.
One more. I don't imagine you knew much about Brian Burns before this. You knew him as a guy in the league. What did you think of him beforehand, and what do you know about him now that you've, spent almost the whole season with him?
Yeah, like you said, he's just a dominant player in the league, and you see those guys making plays on other teams, but obviously I didn't know him as a person, and right when he was traded here, I had a teammate who played with him in Carolina, who I played with in college, and I was just chopping it up with him one day, and he was just talking to me about Burns and how when it gets in season, how dedicated he is, how much of a hard worker he is, and how locked in he is, and it just spending time with him this year just confirmed that even with the things we've been going through this season, not the way we wanted to, but you see him still come in every day, and he's working hard, playing hard, and he's a true professional.
Who was that former college player?
Davion Nixon, a D lineman. Yeah,
Yeah, he would know, right? This
yeah.
D lineman. He's not the most rah rah talkative guy, is he, Brian? You know what I mean?
hmm
Maybe behind with you. How do you sense that leadership style is?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, he's a fun guy to be around, and he's a trustworthy guy. And like you said, he's not a super, huge talker, but when he says things, it's people listen. So, a guy like that, you expect to lead by example, and then when he talks, like I said, you listen. So, those are good guys to have on the team.
Thanks, Dan.
Yep.
Evan Barnes.
Hi, Dane. How you doing?
Doing well. How about you?
Good, thank you. Good. Speaking of Brian, I know he talked to us yesterday and said after the game there wasn't a lot of talking or post game speeches after Dable spoke. So I'm just kind of curious, just kind of what is kind of the mood of this team kind of now after this game, trying to process where things are right now.
Yeah, I would say how competitive everyone is. It's tough to lose, especially you got your emotions going right after the game. But I feel like everyone's here, like no one's like giving up. Like our focus every day and every week is to get a win. To, find a way to win. So, we're that's the goal. That's the focus. So even though after the game it sucks and it's tough to lose like that, but each week we're coming in like let's do it this week. Let's try to find a way to win.
And then so for you, I guess, just kind of what was your mood, just trying to process, I guess, just how the season is at this point. 9 straight losses. Obviously, you guys are competing, but the results just aren't the way you want them. So how are you personally just processing that game when it's quiet in that locker room and just going through your thoughts?
Yeah, right after the game, obviously you're frustrated with losing, but I feel like you can't. There's no blame to put on people as far as like effort. Like you look at everyone, we're all out there, grinding, going hard every play, like, no matter what the situation was, and that's something you like to see. Obviously, you don't want to lose, but you can play with people that no matter the situation, they're gonna play hard. And I feel like just throughout the season, it's been take it day by day. You can't look at the big picture like, oh, we're knocked out of the playoffs or this and that, or we're on a losing streak. But like, nah, like just got to look at it each week as a new opportunity.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Brian Dunleavy.
And Dane, I apologize. I was a little late joining, so if this is a repeat question, I apologize. But just how hard is it when, Art Green hasn't been here that long, and some of the other guys in the secondary haven't been here that long? Like, how hard is it when a secondary seems like a position you guys all got to be on the same page, and a lot of you guys are just kind of getting thrown in from the practice school. You've been here a long time, but guys getting thrown in from the practice squad or picked up from other teams and playing 2 weeks. Is that how you look at the big plays? And I'm sure you don't want to make it an excuse, but is that kind of what's going on there?
I would like there could be a component of that. There's definitely people were playing are obviously great players, great scheme and things like that, but it is tough. New guys coming in and trying to learn the entirety of the playbook, and it makes it a little bit easier that every game there's a certain amount of plays that are being in. It's not like you got to know every single call that Shane has ever called, but it's definitely a factor where you gotta obviously have to take time alone to learn, but a big factor is getting together. With the DBs, like you said, communication is big, and just things on the fly that happen in the game, we got to be able to communicate well. And it's definitely something, like you said, new people it's a working process, but I feel like every guy in the room is capable, and for these next 3 weeks we're gonna play as hard as we can.
This isn't meant to sound like a selfish thing. This is meant to sound like a pride thing. When I say, how much are you guys aware? Like, winning's obviously the main thing, but like you're also getting judged as individuals in these games. So like, is there a certain amount of like, hey, I want to make sure I have a job next year. I want to make sure, like, when you're out there competing, is there also an individual aspect of, I got to put my best tape on? Like, you had a bunch of tackles yesterday at PBU. Like, is there also a element of like, you realize you're getting evaluated every single game too?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even if we were 11-3, or whatever it is, it's still that same mix. The most important goal is to win. That's what we do it for. You love to win, all that thing. But at the same time, like you said, it's a performance-based league, and when you get your opportunity, alongside winning, when you play your best, you give your team a chance to win. So there's definitely a good mix. But like I said, the most important thing is to win. You can play a great game and lose, and it still hurts the same.
And then one more. What have you seen on the specials this year, Dane? I think you lead the team in special team snaps. It seems like maybe play to play is okay, but you guys have given up a lot of big ones. There were the 2 returns yesterday. What have you seen special teams wise?
You mean like as far as that, just this game?
Just like
okay.
Maybe the last month or
Yeah.
half season or whatever. Like there were 2. It seems like over the course of the season, it's been like okay play to play, but then there's a backbreaker.
Yeah, I would say, we were, as a unit, as a whole entire special teams unit, we were definitely on an upward trend. We were playing well, playing physical, playing fast. People were making plays, and it was fun to watch and fun to be a part of. But, like I touched on earlier, this league is full of players that are paid to make plays, and, it's not always going to be perfect. And, yesterday was a game where, we weren't fundamentally sound every time, and it kind of cost us on a few of those things. But, I feel like I said earlier, everyone in this room and everyone on this team is here to, make plays and contribute to a win and be professional. So, I feel like that stuff we're gonna get corrected, and this next game out against Atlanta, we're gonna, fix it and make more plays.